Hello, everyone. It is Kenyon here. It is Basketball Zone. I've been gone for a while, but I am back and back to see the Raptors lose. So we're here to cover. Coach Roach is joining me. We are here to cover the Raptors' loss to the 76ers. It was a heartbreaking loss. The Raptors are now, I believe, they have lost 6 of their last 7. Unfortunately, and they have also lost, is it 5 in a row, I believe? It's not good. Raptors land is having a lot of trouble. So before we get into a little bit of back and forth between Roach and I, Coach Roach and I, we're going to just cover the game really quickly. So the first thing that I noticed when I'm looking at this is Toronto actually got back to playing the way that they wanted to play at the beginning of the season, although there were some problems. They did dominate points in the paint, which is really good to see. I think that they were pretty good at generating turnovers, but again, for every turnover that they generated, they gave one back, and that is not a way to win the game. I think when you dig yourself a hole at the beginning of the game and you're always playing catch up, it's really emotionally and physically exhausting to always try to catch up. So when they did take the lead, which is great, before they went into overtime, of course, again, you're emotionally exhausting yourself getting to the point where you can, put yourself in a position to win. Really quickly, rebounds. The Raptors got back to rebounding how they should. They definitely still miss Precious, of course, but 50 rebounds to 41. Blocks, 3 blocks to 1, 6 steals to 8. The tail of the tape to me is the 3-point percentage, where Philly shot a close to league average, 35.7 versus Raptors shot below 30%. The one thing that I liked about this game is that the Raptors actually kept up in terms of the 3-point attempts. So it was 42 for Philadelphia to 40. But if you're going to lose it doesn't matter you playing the possession battle if you can't convert on those extra possessions. You're going to run into trouble there. Couple more things. Sorry, Tim. Coach Roach, for making you wait for so long. But really quickly, OG Anunoby saw his return. He played okay overall on defense, but he struggled in a couple different ways. We'll get to Siakam at the end. What are your thoughts on the game?
OG Anunoby coming back I do think helped the team. I'm not looking at his plus minus because the plus minus doesn't look too good.
Yeah.
But I think just having his presence on the court, it just seemed like they were more aggressive tonight on defense. They were more in tune with what they had to do because the night before it was not good. Their closeouts were pitiful. How they were guarding the pick and roll was awful. Golden State had too many wide open lanes to the hoop. OG makes a massive difference defensively on this team. And I think when Precious comes back, he's not going to have quite that impact that OG does, but I do think he will help. He will definitely help when he's back on the court. Little disappointed with Nurse's starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, what did you think?
And I say that because this is something that's specific to playing Philadelphia because of Embiid. They basically started Scotty at center, and Wancho was listed on the game sheet as starting center.
Yeah.
I had mentioned to someone that Kem Birch or Thad or Koloko should have been starting tonight against Embiid because they have 18 fouls to give between 3 of them.
Absolutely.
I would not have had Scotty Barnes starting it on him. I said to someone's going to get in foul trouble early. It's going to be, I was thinking it might have been OG or Scotty, and it was Scotty. Scotty had 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game. You're already setting the tone now with Scotty on the bench. Hard to get going when you get 2 fouls in 4 minutes. And then, so I was not impressed with Nurse. Nurse is starting the game that way.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't mind OG and Scotty playing against Embiid at times, but I don't want them wearing their bodies down throughout an NBA season to do that. I think it's a break in case of emergency. I don't think that this is the emergency, although people would argue that we are in an emergency times or panic times. I just again I'm pro conserving guys' bodies, and I think that there are bigger, not necessarily bigger, but on this team, but there are better suited guys to start or play against Embiid. I know some people were clamoring for Boucher. I thought he was good off the bench, and I would have remained with him off the bench. He played 30 minutes, so it's not like he didn't play a ton of minutes. One player that actually impressed me really quickly was I would say Bo Cruz was decent in on defense. A couple of his switches and callouts were fairly solid, so he's played better as of late. So I do want to give him some credit there. Um, again, I'm gonna wait till the end for my propaganda hour, so to speak. But instead of talking about Siakam, let's quickly talk about a certain Fred VanVleet.
It's Fred's. But let's remember though, against Sacramento and was it in Brooklyn? He had like 30 plus point performances.
Mm-hmm.
So he is showing that he is playing well to a degree. But it's hard to be elite in this league at his height. You can't shoot, make open shots. It's hard. Fred's forcing his game a lot in the paint right now,
Yes,
and
that's
and
very good point.
it's noticeable. I think he's struggling. Probably maybe there's some issues off the court, and certainly I'm not going to talk about them. It's not my place to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But Fred's always got this notion of being steady Freddy, and well, he hasn't been as steady. I think even this year in general, it's been inconsistent from him. And it's not just Fred, it's been kind of a team thing, more or less. Like outside of Pascal Siakam, teams been very inconsistent to a degree.
Yeah, production-wise, the consistency on the team has been definitely up and down. Just to quickly go over the Fred stats, today he was better from three, and yes, against Brooklyn from three specifically, he was better. But before that, he shot 25%, 28.6, 22, 25, 16. 37, so that's good, and then 14 and 0. So it hasn't been a good, I want to say, since the end of November. It has not been good so far. So my problem with Fred is in terms of his play as of late is that he tends, like you said, he tends to try to impact the game. And I can understand that. That's, if you are a leader of a team or whatever, you want to sometimes make sure that your imprint is felt. That sometimes runs into problems. I will say overall, the team did a really good job of sharing the ball today. I was really impressed with the ball movement. There were times when you would see the gravity of a driver suck in the defense, and then it was like a swing. There was one, I'm probably making the mistake of who was the initial person that made the pass, but it was, I believe, Siakam to Wancho to Flynn, I believe. And it was just a really beautiful example, and that sort of play happened several times, whether it was to Fred or to different guys, to Scotty. There was a lot of ball movement, and that was something that was really impressive, and they stuck to that throughout the game. So I really do want to give the Raptors credit. For all of you who are saying I don't like iso ball, I don't like it either, but I think that they did a better job of going away from that and spreading out the usage in this specific game. Okay, so really quickly, I'll just go through Siakam. I thought he played really, really great. Obviously, I always complain about his free throws. You got to make those free throws. Those are free points. Please make your free throws. Please, this entire team, make your free throws. Always, because when you get to tight games, when you get to overtime, guess what? You wouldn't be in overtime. Um, Siakam, I'm not going to go through the entire numbers, but I will go through the main stat line. He did have some turnovers, yes, but I think he showed a willingness to pass and he was facilitating. But he had 15 rebounds, which is absolutely what you need. He had 38 points and he had 6 assists. And I also thought defensively he was fairly decent and fairly locked in. I thought that the team overall was fairly locked in. One of the things that I've noticed that the team overall has struggled to fight through screens lately. They did that this year. Not year, game. You want to say anything?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I noticed there one of the plays near the end of the game, Scotty fought over top of the screen, and because he did, they get called for a moving screen, or not a moving screen. I think it was an illegal screen. I don't think the guy's foot was planted yet.
Was it Milton?
I think it was Melton. Yeah,
No.
and because he went over the screen, they were able to get that call. Scotty goes under the screen, they don't get the call.
Yes.
So there was more fight tonight from this team. There's no doubt. Is it a tough loss? Every loss is tough because they're in such a slump right now, and
Yes.
because as fans, we are prisoners of the moment right now. So it looks like the house is on fire right now. Maybe in a sense it is, but it's not burnt down yet. It's not burnt down yet. We gotta put the flames out. We gotta call the fire department and get the flames out. And I do think that we just need to get some guys back, get some guys healthy to see a larger sample size what exactly this team is moving forward.
Yeah, so we definitely have to have another conversation fairly soon, similar to the last one that we had, where we kind of go over more big picture stuff with the team. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds there this time, but there are definitely very interesting conversations about the potential direction of this team moving forward. So we will see what happens. But again, I want to keep these things short, so I will probably talk to you in literally 2 minutes. But for everyone, whenever you are watching this, stay safe, stay blessed, have a great day, because you will probably be seeing this tomorrow and it is not daytime right now. And stay warm if you can. So take care, everyone, and yeah, have a good one. And hopefully we win before the new year starts. Thank you.